More ALGS news breaks out as Sweetdreams goes live on Twitch to tell all. This is basically clarifying some of the statements that were made regarding the future of this esport, and honestly, it's not as bad news as most were thinking. Also giving some insights as to why he made some of the statements that he made and some of the things that you need to know about how this esports will probably be operating in the future. Also some roster updates to keep you informed on as well. Let's dive and talk about what's going on in the scene right now. First, I wanted to make mention GoNext signing their new roster after their former world championship roster is moving on to other things. Obviously they got a little bit of a bump since winning that world championship, but Henchman and Co, Kinda and Co, however you want to prefer to them, these guys obviously very talented. Been following Kinda for a very long time, for a couple of years now, so obviously wish them the best. Also, Stallion's potential roster, these are still going on inside of scrims right now, but Enemy, Albralelie, and Crooked potential Stallions roster in the making. These are ever changing, so make sure to stay up to date by subscribing to the channel. We'll keep you up to date as we see new rosters play in scrims as well. Also, Noises is returning to comp, and he's also posted that he is LFT. We covered this. It's been a while since he's moved on, and you're seeing more of that right over time. Some people, while they may be retiring and moving away from the game, and it raises concern, some people see, like Tech, like Noises, many others, they see the world championship and they say, I want to be on that stage. And whenever you hear the news that Sweet talks about today, it really may not be as bad as many were thinking. So Noises is going to be returning to Apex Legends competitive, highlighting I miss competing. Also, ExoClan making an announcement as well. Today they are announcing the departure of Slayers and Fuda for their competitive Apex roster. We're incredibly thankful for all of their hard work and commitment to ExoClan and for creating everlasting memories with us. Wishing them both good luck for year 5. You will always have our support. Interesting roster move there. I don't really know, because I felt like definitely Fuda was such an up-and-coming rising star. I really liked the stock that Fuda had. I don't really know about that change. I'm not sure if that's the change I would have made for that roster. However, it's been noted that there is a change, so just stay up to date. Also, this is a big one. We talk about more people coming back in Vayne. Also, just recently had stepped away and said he wasn't playing anymore. And Vayne seems to be back. He posted the other day, so showing his results inside of PSQ, and man, he has been doing good. You guys could see that he was able to win his group standings here, and currently the standings right now for preseason qualifiers. By the way, if you haven't seen this new ALGS Battlefy website, it looks pretty good. They did make a UI update, and it's a lot better than before, I think. But VSM currently in #1 standings for America, and that is McLovin, Vayne, and Cersei. So these guys all well known inside the scene. McLovin as well, back when he played, what was it, Litecoin, I think it was. I mean, this entire roster is a bunch of challenger circuit grinders who have been there with so much experience, even Flat as well. I mean, both of these guys. So very excited to see how they will prevail in the future. But with that said, first week of PSQ is already in the books. VSM in first. That's the roster we just mentioned. Flat, No Name, Unleash, Boys, FWG, Most Hated, Status Quo, Locked In, The Crypt, Ape Gang, Redeem, Twerkaholic. So many people that you know that have been around the scene for so long. 0-1 able to win it inside of the APAC North scene. APAC South first place went to Kukoi, and then TYK also here in second. I feel like this team name has been around for a bit, but the roster itself has changed a lot. You really can't even consider them the same TYK as they used to be. And the MEA at WEH, which was able to win as well. So congrats. Obviously, we will have 3 more qualifiers to take place for PSQs, so stay tuned here on the channel. Also got to make mention, probably the biggest news of today, this is the one I really wanted to get to. Sweetdreams goes on a live stream to tell all with the big statement that he made. ALGS Year 6 canceled. What does that really mean? And long story short, you're going to watch this entire video, but it looks like ALGS may be going an entirely different route. And instead of ALGS, it may be Apex Esports news that we look at here in the future. Maybe you've got EWC kind of taken over as the actual franchise league or whatever you want to call it. Maybe Faceit gets involved. We talked about other organizations buying it out. Maybe will Battlefy take on a more prominent role? I don't really know, but it seems like that's the direction it may go, is that it may not necessarily be EA funded ALGS. It may be something else with another organization or another company taking over. That would be interesting to see. And honestly, I don't know if I would hate it, because when you think about MLG days, those were kind of some glory days when it comes to esports. If you were in that Call of Duty scene or something along those lines, it wasn't necessarily always when the game publisher ran the scene. I don't think it's a bad thing to consider maybe another organization getting behind this and running this show. So Sweet goes on this massive stream and he talks about all of this stuff, the way that the Apex esport may look going forward. Also, now that partnership program is gone. And here's what he had to say. And here's the chunk of a large stream, 30 minutes plus on a YouTube video from Dr. Unafraid, and obviously a longer stream on Sweet's Twitch. Roll the clips.
In the message, it says that ALGS year 6 is to be canceled, or extremely likely to be. The disconnect between that message and the reality is, when I say ALGS, I don't mean Apex esports in general. I'm talking about the EA subsidized Apex Legends Global Series, but in year 6, that might not be a thing anymore in place of something else that would facilitate Apex esports. So that's where people are mistaken.
Any
at face value,
drivers?
people think without explanation, you wouldn't really know that's coming. Apex esports is bigger than just ALGS. I'll make that clear. So year 6, what I was trying to say is ALGS, the EA subsidized league, may not be existing, but something else might be coming. Apex also announced that they're no longer paying for hotels or transportation or anything like that, or maybe flights there. But Apex is trying to cut costs in every way possible. It's almost like they're trying to prove something to the higher ups that they can make it possible without having to spend money so that they don't have to cancel it for your sake. The reality is, a lot of teams are not going to be able to afford to go without that funding. And now there are not going to be a lot of orgs in Apex that are able to spend a lot of money, because without the partner program, it just seemed like the perfect storm of issues that I didn't want to have to deal with. Ask yourself this. Are you and your 2 teammates who placed 139th in the open qualifiers to come out to a LAN in London willing to spend $3,000 to $4,000 all in for everybody to fly out and get absolutely fucking gangbanged in 140th with 0 prize money and fly home? I don't know. I don't know if very many people are going to be doing that. That's kind of those were the decisions made by Respawn, EA, whoever it is, that I did not agree with. That's what caused like the beginning of like, hey, maybe I don't want to play anymore, because I don't agree with the direction the game is taking in both a competitive sense, but also what might happen in year 6.
So with all of this going on in the scene, what are your thoughts about the partnership program not being a thing anymore, EA not paying for hotels anymore for these players, and looking like we may get away from ALGS and instead go to a different Apex esport environment? What are your thoughts and what are your hopes going into this new year as we finish off year 5, and hopefully we can finish it strong going into the future of the game? Hopefully things will get better. Doesn't seem like everyone is jumping ship quite yet. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Like and subscribe if you want to stay up to date with all things inside of the world of Apex Legends esports news. And until the next time, we'll see you all later.